Hi, this is Belinda from Belinda Lee Briggs Web Design, and today I'm going to show you how to add a custom font to your website and then enable yourself to use it with some text formatting that already exists, so you don't have to actually code while you're editing your website. But there is a little code to get the font in place. So let's start out. We're going to head over to Design. And we're going to go to Custom CSS. And we are going to scroll down to this Manage Custom Files. And at this stage, you're going to have already purchased and downloaded your font, and you'll also have unzipped it so that you can access the font you want, because we're going to upload that font file right now to your website. There we go. Great. So now what we want to do is we want to get our code, and I have just a standard piece of code here that will customize specifically for our font. Okay, so we've got some setup that allows us to have some additional formatting for our color palette, but we're going to put this new code here. This is going to add that custom font, and the first thing we want to do is name it, and then I'm just going to call it Oranges. And I might even, just to make life really easy, make the whole thing lowercase. And then down here, we're going to put the same font name right here. Okay, and so this code says when we have a heading 2 that has italics set, you're going to use this font, which is great because it allows us to actually use the font inline as kind of a special application on just 1 or 2 words in a heading rather than the whole heading. So it gives us a lot more flexibility. We're going to need to change or play around with the font size once we see it at work, but for right now we're just going to upload it. So the last thing we want to do is tell it where to look for that font file. So we're going to delete that out here. We're going to come back to Manage Custom Files, and we're just going to click on this link. And Squarespace is great because it will paste that right in there for us. So let's see if this worked for us. We're going to head over to the About page. Okay, so it doesn't want to let me get there through the navigation, so we're going to head over to Pages. And we're going to come to the About page. And we're going to do a little test. Let's see. We'll try it right here. So, this is a heading 3. In theory, if we click italics, it changes us to that great new font, but it is teeny. So let's head back out and modify our code a little bit more. So we're going to go to Design, Custom CSS, and we're going to come down here. We can't set all the font sizes exactly the same because obviously we want heading 1, heading 2 to be a little different. So let's see. So we're going to choose something called relative units and hope that that lets us have every font make its own little adjustments. So we're going to say set font size to 2 of what the base is, relative. And that's a bit bigger. It's not quite big enough, so we're going to try 2.4. Maybe that's a little bit too big. How about, oh, maybe it wasn't quite big enough. So another option you could do here is you could say, whenever I use this font, I'm just going to pull a color from my color picker history. Whenever I use this font, I want you to make it be a special color as well. And see, can you see that purple is in there? Now it makes me think I probably should have done the question mark, but see See, so really, really easy. Now the big trick here will be if we modify a heading 1, how does that font size play out? Because we may need to set things up differently. Do a one line of code for each heading style just to make sure that we are looking great on every page. So we're in here now. Not in the header. Let's get down here into the body. And this is a heading 1. Let's test it out. Oh, it's teeny. It's purple. So this little bit, while we're playing, this little bit tells me that it didn't quite set the font size right. So let's try one more time. Custom CSS. And maybe I don't want, oh, where'd my fonts go? A lot of custom code in here. Here we go. Maybe I don't want. Let's see. Oh, that's much bigger. Let's see how we fared down here. Oh yeah, that is much better. So now we're really doing relative to original size. So let's try here, 2.2. Is that better? And how about 2.2 up here? Still pretty big. Now, you don't need to worry about getting it to look just right if you're never going to put it on the same line as another font. Too teeny. Oh, right. Let's try 1.75. We're getting there. How about 1.5? That's a bit better. I think we're getting close. 1.6. And the height of these top letters are not quite matching up. So I'm going to, of course, play around in here. I feel like that is much better. So you can play. And let's peek down here. So I'm going to make these incremental changes. So you really need to decide where you want to use it. Are you going to use it in multiple places? Are you going to use it standing alone? Are you going to mix it with fonts that are already existing? And those will all kind of define how you're going to make use. So now that looks a little too small for me. So anyway, so say you didn't love the sizes. You wanted a little bit more control. So your heading 1 and heading 2 are usually pretty close to each other. So we're going to pull those out, and we're going to say for heading 3, we do want it to be a little bit bigger. So I think that's a better match here, and then that lets us pick the right size up here, so we've separated them. Just a little differential. Okay, so we're going to save, and that's it. Now you're free to use those fonts wherever you like. I hope you found this helpful.